Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're tuning in. You got Jada.
And I'm Camille.
And we are calling all boss babayas and creative kabayan. And we're out here, redefining what it means to be Tita.
Welcome to your Tita break. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are missing Kai, but that's okay. Hi, Kai. Special shout out to you. Please take a moment, pull out your phone, or use your remote to like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and TikTok.
Yes. Share this with another Tita.
Yeah. Because sharing is caring.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So, what's going on? What's the Filipino phrase of the week?
Our Filipino phrase of the week. I feel good saying this one, okay? But, be kind. Ikaw ang bida sa kwenta ng buhay mo.
Oh, wow.
Which
Amazing.
means you are the star of your life story.
Ikaw ang bida sa kwenta ng buhay mo.
Ikaw ang bida sa kwento ng buhay mo.
Okay. Can we get a pronunciation check?
Can we get a thumbs up?
Are we good?
Oh.
Wow!
Jay's applauding us.
We got like a raise the roof. We got to raise the roof. That's a first. Look at that. Oh my.
Hello,
and a lasso.
Hey.
Yeah, that was okay.
Okay. All right, nailed it. All
We're
right,
developing
so
our
use it wherever you can. Ikaw ang bida sa kwento ng buhay mo.
Wow.
Main character energy. All right, how was your week? How's it been?
Oh, it's going. Yeah, it's going. Today is Wednesday. I feel like I'm living in the future for some reason.
There's funny energy in the air this week. I don't know.
I just feel like everything's going really fast.
Yes.
Right?
And I'm like, it's only Wednesday, so there's still a second half of the week, but I do feel like there's just a lot, and I feel like there's not enough time right now.
Yeah.
That's just for me.
Yeah, time seems to be flying. It's that spring forward, right? Like it's like in full effect right now. Like we're just kind of heading in, right? Like I'm cool. Even the weather's confused, right? Like there's some snow. It's getting cold.
Just be nice.
I don't really understand what's happening.
The sun, there's a couple days too, it's like a fake out. It's like, oh, it's sunny, it's so beautiful. Then you go outside, it's freezing, it's still windy.
Yeah, I was gonna go for a walk one day, and then I opened my window just to, double check the conditions, and I saw snow, and I was like, what is happening?
So
Where am I?
They came in, they're like, oh, it's snowing outside. I said, what?
It's what outside? What did you just say?
Oh my God, you know what I got to do though on Monday?
Oh, what did you do?
I went to the Mary J. Blige, what is it? For My Fans tour.
What?
At Scotiabank. It was so good. All the ladies came out tonight.
Wow.
The boots, the jackets, the accessories, like everybody looked amazing.
Wow.
And I love it when girls just hype girls.
Yeah.
So I was just walking, and then behind I heard bam, ka, bam, ka. I was like, so I started stomping and like sashaying on the beat, and then it was a bunch of girls behind me just started hyping me up, and it was like,
wow.
They're so sweet. But it was such a good time. Got to hear all the hits, and she did not. I thought at the end of the concert, they're like, okay, thank you, everyone. I'm like, she didn't do Real Love. So I'm like, okay, I know this game. You were Nope. Stadium, all the lights came on, all the production team lined up, ready to tear down everything. I was like, oh, okay, we're not getting this song.
Oh.
So that's the only thing. One of my friends, she did a quick Google search, and apparently she's like getting sued for it right now. So she can't perform it. Yeah.
What?
I don't know like exact details.
Why is she getting?
I don't know.
What?
And, back in the day too, right? When more people were like, more artists were taken advantage of. But apparently she's going through something right now which prohibits her to perform it right now.
Copyright infringement filed against Universal Music by Tough City Records, alleging an unlicensed sample from the Honey Drippers' 1973 song, Impeach the President.
There you go.
Oh my.
I played it on the way home.
Still available on your music platforms.
Oh, but it was such a good time. Danced my little heart out, sang my little heart out.
That's fantastic. That feels like so. I haven't been to a good concert in a while. That's amazing.
I'm same here. So I was like, I was really excited. But that's why my Monday felt like it should be Friday. So my week feels off, and like I said, and it's just busy. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's hard to beat. I did nothing like that. Nothing like that. I've been working.
Yeah,
working out in these streets.
Yes.
There's residential streets.
Yeah.
And some commercial too. Okay. And some commercial. So
hashtag work with me. Yeah.
Work with an O. W-O-R-K.
Yeah.
Not the other kind. Okay. And on that note, we'll be right back.
Yeah, be.
Welcome back. We're going to talk about what's going on in pop culture and entertainment. You know, I rely on you to keep me informed on these things. So let me know what's going on.
So Keanu Reeves, we all love Keanu.
Who doesn't?
Right? So he charged apparently $39K per word of dialogue in the latest John Wick.
Like John Wick 4?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Because the reasoning was he's like, my character, like he thinks should prove through action as opposed to words. So they obviously scaled down with this in place, and apparently it's like one of the highest grossing John Wicks out of the series.
Wow. Okay. So I just did some like little research because I want you to know like what does that mean in terms of words? He spoke 380 words throughout the film.
Yes. Yeah.
And 10% of those words were like, yeah. So I probably should have waited till you finished drinking. Oh my gosh. So he was paid $15 million. But I appreciate that artistic direction because like those movies are great. I don't know, are you big on action movies?
I am, but like I get so squeamish at like the knife thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm like,
especially when they're gory and they pull out the knife and there's like a blood rainbow and I'm like, oh no. But I definitely do love action movies. But I thought that was a cool artistic way to approach your character. Forces then the writers to be more creative and intentional with 100%. What that dialogue looks like. So, and he plays that role like really well.
Oh
like, just so well. It's just such a
he's the
unique.
best,
I
man.
know.
Like you need him to do comedy, he'll do comedy. Need him to do action, he'll do action. He's just like a great guy.
So dynamic. I love it. Yeah.
So take this in. Imagine a world where you were charged per word.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think that would make the place better?
I mean,
do you think it would create chaos?
If you were charged for each word,
so then you have to be like
super impeccable with your word. I mean, I think a lot more people would invest in reading the dictionary and strengthening their vernacular.
Yes.
And I would hope that it would force people to be more compassionate. Because instead of just choosing all these angry words and speaking on the fly, you would say something a little more thoughtful.
Talk about actions speaking louder than words. Like that would, I feel that would have more meaning.
Yeah.
But then I also just thought in my head, I'm like, do I nullify the question if I'm like, yo, what if all of us just learn sign language?
Oh wow, that's so smart. That's such a smart perspective. But then does that mean everyone who uses sign language, like out of like necessity, doesn't get charged? Because it's still a language, right?
Yes,
it's just not written, and they can still, I don't know. And what are we saying? Just like words that come out of our mouths? Does it include what we type, what we post on socials? Where are we drawing these lines, right?
Fair. Whoa, that question got bigger. Way bigger than I was expecting.
Wasn't expecting that.
Okay, let's reel it back. No, but I think it would be great in the sense of people would be more intentional with what they say.
We would hope.
We would hope. In theory, hopefully. Just be a good human.
Yeah, right? The moral of the story.
The moral of the story. Just be a good human.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question, though. That was fun. Thank you.
That was fun. Okay, so, reveal that live Mass Live 2025 event. So for Taco Bell, they do this every year where they spotlight new menu items that are in development. Even though there has not been an official release date confirmed, they are testing a vanilla ube cream cookie.
What? Oh. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Ube Strawberry Cookie.
Oh.
Yes, so it's vanilla ube cream, bits of strawberry, and colorful sprinkles.
Wow.
And it's like, let me pull up a picture of it.
How do we feel about that? Do we still go to Taco Bell? Is that, especially with this whole American, I don't know. Is it like, I don't know. Like,
I do like to get a Taco Bell order every once in a while. It's not all the time thing, but I definitely indulge sometimes. Take a picture. Take a look at the picture, though. It's like
I need to see it.
Yeah.
I do like Taco Bell as well. I don't care. Like it's just it's one of those fast food things. Like it's not near me. I don't get to eat it often, but every now and then, like maybe once a year. Oh, that looks delicious.
Yeah.
And their little spiral fake churros are so good.
I'm intrigued. Oh yeah.
Right. So this is probably really good too. I'm sure there's a.
I'm intrigued that I would try it.
Yeah.
But. I guess until we see it's here, because also the pictures that are up here right here, it's like different variations of like purple.
Oh, like especially
Some
since
look
it's
like
strawberry.
neon. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like
oh,
if
yeah.
it's like dye-ish. Like,
Especially since it's strawberry and ube. So like, which color are they favoring? Is it like a reddish purple, like a magenta? Are we going with a magenta?
and who's to even
hue?
say this is gonna make it to Canada? This could also just be a U.S.
Yeah,
thing.
you're right, because they
knows?
do get all the cool things.
Yeah.
Because it's their company, right? So
Exactly.
we may not. You're absolutely right. Meanwhile, we have the Raptors anniversary McFlurry at McDonald's.
Oh yes. Right? Oh yeah. They did do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep our eyes out for that this year, whether that's here or in our southern neighbor, Taco Bell's. I'll be trying it, I think, depending on how neon it looks.
Let's see.
What else do we have going on?
So, believe it or not, there is this Japanese man who makes $80,000 a year renting himself out as a do-nothing friend.
What? What do you mean, like, do nothing friend? Like, he's just, like, someone you hang out with?
Yes.
And do nothing with?
Soji Morimoto, he's 41 years old. He charges anywhere from $65 to $195 per session.
Oh, okay, and how long is a session? Like an hour?
He does not disclose that, but he says that he has conducted over 4,000 sessions within the 4 years. He offers silent companionship for those who need a non-judgmental presence, so he's hired for various reasons, such as sharing a meal, attending important life events, often to combat loneliness. But he makes it very clear and sets clear boundaries by refusing requests involving like labor, long distance travel, or anything obviously inappropriate. Good for you. Recently worked in publishing, and then he found fulfillment in embracing his passivity as a service.
Interesting.
Right? Bringing joy to both himself and those who seek his presence.
Talking about working with your strengths and understanding what those strengths are.
Way to shine a light on that, honestly.
And for, like, this is a great way to put it, like, bringing joy to himself. Yeah. Like, fulfillment, that's kind of like a full circle thing. Like, that seems like such a full circle thing. And I had to do some math because you said he did 4,000 sessions in 4 years. Like, that means it's 1,000 sessions a year he was doing. That's 2.7 appointments
a day?
Yeah, per day.
This guy's putting in work.
Assuming he's working 365. But if he's not, like, are you giving yourself weekends?
Or he does,
if he loves it so much, like,
work-life balance is like 3 days of
12-hour shifts. Yeah, like that's a lot of time. Like, as someone who works with people for a living, like it's a lot. Like that's a lot.
He must be an avid calendar user.
Yeah, I would hope so. That guy must be so organized. Good for you.
Has an online platform to book
Can we find him on Instagram? I'm gonna find him later.
I thought that was interesting, but I also think it's crazy. Like, not to make it all sad or anything, but like to think that's a thing. Like to. And there's like, someone was like to provide a service for that. Like, people are lonely out here.
It reminds me. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, which makes you count your blessings, right? Like, and be grateful for your friends and family.
I think about this movie Kevin Hart did called The Wedding Ringer, where the guy hires him and does like the golden tux, where he has to hire a whole wedding party because he has no friends. And the movie opens with him calling all these people from like high school and whatever else, and they're like, I haven't seen you since like 7th grade or whatever. They hang up on him, and he's just so lonely, so he makes up friends. Like, I feel like that was such a, like, as funny as that movie was, it was such an eye-opener. It definitely, like, speaks to this whole business, right?
Life imitates art.
Because we've heard of, like, cuddle buddies and stuff like that, like people getting hired to just do these things because people feel alone, which is
You know what I do want, though? I want one of those, like, cuddle full-body pillow joints. Or like, I think it's like what is it, like a large U or something?
Oh, like a pregnancy pillow?
Yeah, I want one of those.
Yeah, they look fun.
Not pregnant, but I want
one. It's okay if you are. Okay.
Breaking news on Tita Salita.
Yeah, right?
Just
my gosh.
kidding.
What a
Don't
way
worry, Mom and Dad.
What a way to break it to your friends. Imagine.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Would you ever do a gender reveal party?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't think I'm that guy.
No disrespect to them. I wouldn't do it. I would, or if I was to do it, maybe it's like an element of my actual like baby shower.
Right. Yeah. Not separate from the baby shower. I don't know. I might change my mind. Like, should I be pregnant in that moment? Like, I might change my mind and want to do all these things. But Right now, no, I just don't think so. I don't even think I would have it as an element. I think the way that I see my baby shower is very neutral, like green.
Green? That's a good color,
green and
though.
whites. Yeah, I like that idea. And then just
good
being
palette.
surprised on the day of.
Yeah.
Which is weird for a type A person to say. But whatever.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. As you know, Cam is our stat queen. So Cam, what's going on in the market?
Oh my. So I think last week I was talking about it being a bit of a buyer's market because we're seeing some slower sales, but just to kind of highlight what that looks like, March 1st to March 25th last year, we were at 6,986 freehold sales, okay? To date, March 1st to March 25th this year, we're at 4,655 sales.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're down just over 2,000 sales.
Okay.
Which is pretty intense. So what we're seeing right now is a bit of a shift. It is a bit of a buyer's market right now.
Okay.
We are seeing buyers return to the market. They're attending open houses, they're making decisions, there are sales as we can see, but they're just being really mindful of the carrying costs of a mortgage, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Based on the conversations I'm having with some buyers, they're in the range of 1 million to 1.2 million, willing to extend themselves for the right property.
All right.
But a lot of what we're seeing is still in some markets overpriced based on the behaviors of buyers. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So the houses that are moving that I'm seeing, it's because they're priced correctly.
Okay.
And when we're working with our clients who are preparing to list their properties, what we're seeing is they want to make some adjustments to their home, which, you know, our team is going in and discussing with them.
Yep.
We're just looking to see what major areas they need to hit and fix so that they're keeping the most in their pocket. We're not just going to tell them to renovate their whole
Like you
house.
said-
The last thing we want to do is have someone overextend themselves and invest $100,000 on a renovation when they're
For
not
sure.
going to get that back on a sale. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the last thing you'd want.
Exactly. So just little things like maybe changing up the floors, fresh coat of paint, or just resurfacing your cabinets, whatever the case may be. We're going in there and assessing the situation so that we can help them
Interior
with that.
and exterior?
Yeah, whatever needs to
or
be
whatever
done.
needs to be
Whatever
done,
needs to be done, right? Like exterior can be pretty easy depending on the age of your home. Obviously, no two homes are alike. So interior refresh is usually what people tend to do.
For sure.
A fresh coat of paint goes a long way, especially if you're like one of those homes that has like, you know, different colors in every room, whatever the case may be. What we want to do is we want to depersonalize it as much as possible to make sure that when a buyer walks into your home, they're seeing themselves there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If I walk into an orange room, Camille, do you think I'm going to buy that house? It's going to be
it's
really
been fun.
hard. Yeah, right? Like,
And I'm out.
I would say to me, why'd you bring me here? And even though we know we can paint a wall, sometimes it's hard for a buyer to go in and make that connection or see that
You
visualization.
almost want the place to be a canvas in the sense where the buyer can see the possibility or the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And put their spin on it.
Exactly. They want to be able to walk through and see, where am I going to, how do I see myself in this home?
Exactly.
Is this my future home?
Yes.
And if the wall is orange and you don't have someone who's good at visualization walking through their home, then yes, that does absolutely work against you, right?
So knowing this information, like what areas should people invest in?
Such a great question. So right now we're seeing a lot of great deals in the Durham area. And in Toronto, believe it or not. Yeah, right. And throughout Toronto, believe it or not, there are some great deals in Scarborough. Malvern, for anyone who's looking, first-time home buyers, the prices there are fantastic.
Okay, good
South
to know.
Ajax, really, really good.
Nice.
We're also seeing other pockets in West Hill that are nice, Centennial, Scarborough.
Yep.
I've even seen some Guildwood houses come down in price for those who are looking to upsize or for some room to grow. Just some really, really great areas there. And throughout Pickering and Whitby and the Durham area, it seems like a natural progression for people in Scarborough to go east.
Go a little bit more east.
So yeah, just go a little more east and you'll see that there are some
You can find your dream
great
home.
deals. Exactly, right? But, you know, it really depends on your budget. I would say, obviously, you want to speak to a mortgage agent first. As you know, we have one in-house.
Yep. Hello.
So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to connect you with her. And then you can go from there, because the last thing you want to do too is start shopping for all these homes and you can't afford the ones that you like, right?
Yeah.
There's always there's always room to grow. There's always things to play with and to consider when you're shopping for a home. And budget is number one.
Yes.
I would say, right?
Ain't that the truth?
Say. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
So, shout out Kai. Kai sent us a post. So for, the fact that I went to the Mary concert, if you like going to concerts in general, Leah Salonga is actually coming to Toronto. So her show is called Stage Screen and Everything in Between. So Leah Salonga is a trailblazer for Asian representation in global theater and entertainment. She's going to be in Richmond, BC, October 10th and 11th, and then October 18th in Toronto. She's going to do it at the theater at Great Canadian Casino Resort. So that's on the West End in Etobicoke. Tickets are going.
Woodbine Casino?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys, come on.
Tita night, or take your mom, your titas. They may want to go, as well. But tickets are starting at $68. And for anyone out there who doesn't know who Leah Salonga is, we're going to give her flowers just now, her bulaklaks. Okay, so in music and theater, she's the first Asian actress to win a Tony Award in 1991 for her role as Kim in Miss Saigon. She won the Lawrence Oliver Award, Drama Desk Award, Outer Critics Circle Award, and Theater World War for Miss Saigon. She also starred as Princess Jasmine in Aladdin and Mulan in 1 and 2, providing their singing voices. That was my first introduction to the Miss.
And we know those soundtracks were just amazing. Playing in my head right now. Right,
I sang it at one family reception banquet hall. These ones, big tracks. Awards and recognition. She was named a Disney Legend in 2011 for her contributions as a Disney princess. First Filipino to perform at the Oscars, singing A Whole New World.
Wow.
Performed at the White House for multiple presidents. Received Presidential Medal of Merit from the Philippines for her international achievements. She's honored with a star on the Philippine Walk of Fame. She's included in Time Magazine's Most Influential Asians Under 40 in 95. And then she's also served as a coach on The Voice Philippines and The Voice Kids Philippines. Of course, there would be a kids version of singers of The Voice in the Philippines. She's been a judge for Broadway's Tony Awards and released multiple platinum-selling albums in the Philippines and internationally. And she also acted as a singing voice guide for Frozen's Queen Iduna in 2019. Okay, so if you didn't know.
Amazing. Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah. Fantastic. That is so exciting. I can't believe she's going to be here.
I know. Part of our childhood.
Yes.
Growing up.
Wow. Just fantastic. Thanks, Kai.
Yeah, thanks, Kai.
Wow. What else do we have going on in the city? I know there's some cool festivals.
There's
you always know.
Things. There's a few things to check out. The Shein Spring Pop-Up is at Eaton Center. So it's free admission for all. You can unlock up to 6 free gifts and access in-store offers, including 30% off and 10% gift cards. It's on the main level, and it starts from March 28th to April 6th. So if you want to go shop.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely go check it out. There's also the one-of-a-kind spring show. So this is Canada's flagship craft show featuring works of 400-plus talented artisans from across the country, too, not just from Toronto. So they're going to be at the Enercare Center on 100 Princess Boulevard from March 26th to the 30th, and it's about $22 an adult.
Who doesn't love some good old fashion crafts?
Go get some shopping in, get one-of-a-kind pieces.
Absolutely.
For you and your loved ones.
Canadian thing. It's a great way to support some local business, Canadian businesses. Guaranteed you're going to find 100%. Something really, really cool.
Yep. Then we got the Scarborough, Scarborough Spots, actually. Shout out Scarborough Spots. They posted that the Scarborough Arena Gardens is set to open in fall 2025. So it's getting a full renovation. It's located at Birchmount Road and Hollis Avenue in Scarborough. So they're going to be getting a change on lobby, multi-purpose rooms, ranks, change rooms, bottle filling stations, office, storage areas, a Zamboni room, washrooms, male, female, and gender neutral, and all mechanical, electrical, and accessibility improvements. This is amazing. As a Scarborough native, I feel like there were community centers, but we need more. We need more of these community spaces. So to hear that we got one coming and it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we have quite a few things that are happening. in a local, in your area, you might see some movement happening, some, parks being torn down and rebuilt, which is nice to see.
Bare condos are going up.
Exactly.
So it's almost like a natural.
Yeah, it's good to see that these things are being maintained. Kids Town, the water park that was over at Birchmount and McNichol, between Birchmount and McNichol and Birchmount and Finch, that one is getting a complete overhaul.
Nice.
It's all like, dirt mounds and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're gonna have like a little kids water park coming back to Scarborough. So it's starting to feel like old Scarborough again. Like, it feels really good. So yeah.
Forever place in my heart. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to arguably our favorite segment, I think.
Like, what do we got this week?
Juicy. Am I bustos? So we're going to open things up with our first story here. Am I bustos for asking my friend to leave my birthday party because she brought her crying baby?
What kind of birthday party? Oof. Tell me more.
I, 27-year-old female, recently threw a birthday party at my apartment. It was a pretty low-key gathering with about 10 friends, lots of snacks, a couple of drinks, and just a fun night hanging out.
Okay.
Everything was going fine until my friend Sarah, 28-year-old female, showed up with her 7-month-old baby.
Nice.
Now, I love Sarah, and I know she's a mom, but I wasn't expecting her to bring the baby to a party, especially since we had planned to play games, drink, and chat. The baby started crying almost immediately when they walked in, and Sarah tried to calm her down, but she was clearly struggling. At first, I thought it was just a momentary thing, but the crying continued for almost an hour. Super loud and nonstop. It was hard to hear anything over the noise, and some of the other guests were getting visibly uncomfortable. I eventually pulled Sarah aside and asked her if she could step outside with the baby or take a break in the other room until the baby calmed down. I explained that it was just hard to enjoy the party with the crying. She was clearly upset and told me that I should be more understanding since she can't just leave the baby at home, and she was doing her best to keep her calm. She ended up leaving shortly after, and now she's not speaking to me. I feel bad because I know being a mom is hard, but I also feel like it was my birthday and I wanted to have a good time without the crying baby. Some people think I was rude for asking her to leave, while others think I was just trying to protect the vibe of the party. Am I bustos?
That one's, woo! That's tough. I feel like I don't, I get it. I don't think it's bustos, but I also, I don't know, it's weird because it's I'm not a mother, but I feel like if I was to bring my 7-month baby to my friend's party where there's visibly no other kids, and maybe my kid's just temperamental that day, I feel like I would be aware of that. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's bustos. You try to ting, I wasn't trying to be rude, but it is kind of killing the party. What are your thoughts, Cam?
I do think it's bustos. I think it's extremely bustos. If your friend showed up, it's because you invited her. And you invited her knowing that she had a kid. Yeah. And she said very clearly, it's I know she can't just leave the baby at home. And it's just so don't invite her. If that's the case. If you're trying to have a vibe or a specific, thing happening at your party, then, have a conversation with her separately. Be listen, we'll go to lunch. Yeah. Something baby friendly, because I don't want you to feel left out, and I would love to still celebrate my birthday with you. Yeah. But for this particular party, we're going to be drinking and doing this and whatever else, and, it just doesn't seem appropriate to have your again, boils down to the communication. Yes, for sure. I personally would never invite someone if I wasn't trying. I just don't know why you would invite her. No one It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Right? I
guess if you were going to have a certain vibe, then it's or you would just state it when you would do the invitation, whenever you're telling them, or I don't know.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me. That this would be the result of what happened. And knowing I'm not a mom either, but I have mom friends, and it's just I know how guilty they feel first and foremost.
I'm sorry, friends.
Saying no to when they're invited to things because they can't always commit, and the guilt is so deep and it's so real. So for this to happen, this is a mom's worst nightmare, I think, with her friends. Oh man, you know what I mean? For them to show up and feel like they're not wanted there. And it's interesting because she's the person who's telling the story was oh, I could tell everyone is getting uncomfortable. Meanwhile, half the guests were saying it was rude for you to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're misinterpreting the room also.
Fair.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's a baby. You invited her. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's just my 2 cents.
No, that's valid. That's valid. Yeah. I didn't think of it from that perspective, to be honest. I was just like, I know that also, like, I'm picturing like it was just like mad ox, and it was like, hey, I also feel like you can go to your friend and be like, hey, like, you know, anyways, I'm not trying to justify it. I feel
No,
like,
but
let me
you're
just-
right about the communication, because it's
Yeah,
like,
I agree
why
that,
did
like,
you invite her?
Yeah, if you knew that there was a certain vibe that you wanted to be at the party. So I feel like
Exactly.
I wouldn't even find myself in that position, because
This is what
that's
I'm
how I'd
saying.
handle
Exactly.
it.
And it's
yeah.
just like, she's like, oh, she knew that there would be games and drinks, a couple of drinks or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
did you explicitly say, like, listen, this is an adults only party?
Yeah,
If that's
yeah.
not something that you can commit to, that's cool. We'll have lunch another day, or dinner or whatever.
But did she say, like, was the crying baby like with everybody in the room?
Yeah. Because she said as soon as she walked in, the baby pretty much started crying.
So I also just feel like, okay, maybe it's not even like, hey, you gotta leave, but it's like, if there is another room to go into, it's like, wouldn't
Yeah.
you just go and try to soothe your baby in the other room?
She
At
did.
least? Yeah.
She did. Yeah, she did take a break, from what I understand here. Let me see.
Did she say? Like,
And she pulled her aside and asked her.
because I feel like that would be more realistic. I would be like, okay, like, or like, yeah, there's another room. Maybe you just have to calm the baby. Like, everyone's out here. There's music. There's other people like having conversations. Go into a quieter room.
There seems to be a lapse in that part of the conversation, because it says that she pulled her aside and asked her if she could maybe step outside with the baby or take the break in the other room.
Yeah.
Until the baby calmed down. And she said, explained that it was just hard to enjoy the crying. And then the friend responded that, like, visibly upset.
Yeah.
That she should be more understanding, and that she can't just leave the baby at home, and that she was doing the best to keep her calm. And then she left shortly after. So who knows? Like,
Yeah, or
it
maybe
doesn't
the
say that
fact
she
that
did
like
do
the fact that she asked it already, then it just messed up
you're adding
their
to
energy.
the stress.
Yeah,
'cause it's
no,
like,
for sure.
okay, you're witnessing the crying baby, but like, have you dealt with a crying baby? That's yours. That you're trying to calm down, and you're the source. The source of the, you know, the vibe killer or whatever.
That's
Like,
tough.
it's not easy, and it's just like, being with children, you can never predict how they're going to act, especially like a 7-month-old who cannot talk to you.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, maybe the baby was calm, and that's why she felt confident to bring her. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, as soon as she walked in, she said the baby started crying. Like, that is not something that she could have predicted at all.
No, for
You know
sure.
what I
No one
mean?
can
It's
make
just
that call.
like so
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, I'm curious, like, if she did end up going to the other room, but I get it. Like, it just seemed like she was already frustrated because of
Yeah.
everything happening. She probably
And
felt
maybe it just built up, right? And then it just got to the point where it's like, forget
an
it.
embarrassing moment sometimes,
know,
right, for
yeah.
people. And like, if the baby's 7 months old, she's still well within her mat leave window. So there's a whole other
Layer.
part, that's happening, layers happening outside of just dealing with the baby in real time. Like,
sure.
there are so many things happening. Maybe she's still lactating. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Like, the possibilities
things
are
are happening,
endless, you
yeah.
know? So yes, I do absolutely think that this person was bustos, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just, especially like woman to woman. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess like, no, and I know I started by saying like, oh, I'm not trying like backpedaling. To me, it's like, I feel like it's still like, if it's your friend, like you can
talk,
go and say and talk about anything. But yeah, maybe not leave, but at least go into the other room and
Yeah.
like, I would hope that like at least the other room, like that could be the compromise, the middle ground.
Yeah.
If anything.
But again,
without
like you
having
said,
to leave.
communicate. Like,
Yes,
you
that's
said
what it
you
all
would
comes
never
down
find
to.
yourself in that scenario because you would have talked to the friend
Yes.
from the start. And I believe that. Like, it's so crazy that these friends, guys, you guys aren't friends.
This comes down to talking, y'all.
Are you guys
Let's
friends?
talk it out.
Yeah, like, oh my.
But yeah, I don't know if we want to try to squeeze a second story. Like we can read it and pick it up next segment, or
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
you want to do that?
Let's
All
try.
right.
Let me
All
try it
right. Am I bustos for not following my husband's family tradition?
out. Okay.
My 28-year-old husband. Wait, my 28-year-old husband. Yep.
Oh, yeah, they wrote that weird. So the husband's 29. and
Okay,
she's
that's what I said. I was
28.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
I
so
don't know,
she's
she wrote that
28,
weird, yeah.
her husband's 29, comes from a very traditional family. While we disagree with his family on many things, it has never really been an issue until now. I'm currently 8 months pregnant, and my husband and I couldn't be happier as we've been trying for a while. Since I first found out I was pregnant, we've been discussing names for our child. In my husband's family, the tradition wants the child to be named after his grandfather. Basically, firstborn men in his family only have one of two names, James or Henry. My husband's grandfather was James, so his name is James too. My husband's father is called Henry, so our child should be too, and so on and so forth. But my husband and I didn't really feel like calling our child Henry, and although it's a beautiful way to honor family members, we really wanted our child to have a name that would be personal, that would truly be his. So we chose another name and decided to wait until after the birth to reveal it to everyone.
Sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh.
This week, my mother-in-law, should I pause now?
Yeah, what do you, maybe should we pause and pick it up?
We're going to pause and we'll be right back after this. We'll go into the next segment. Welcome back, and we're going to keep on going with Am I Bastos. So this week, my mother-in-law came to visit us and help us set up for the baby. She brought us some presents, amongst which was a bunch of clothes on which she hand-embroidered the name Henry.
No way. That's presumptuous.
I said that it was nice and thanked her for it, but told her that we wouldn't be naming our child Henry, as we had already told her in the past.
Wow.
She started insisting and saying that it was a tradition, so it had to be that way. I explained to her that we'd rather give our child a name that we choose and that Henry could be his middle name. She immediately went to my husband and started saying things like, "You're not going to let her do that to our family," and making it very dramatic, saying that I was breaking tradition.
Oh my gosh.
That went back hundreds of years. Bracket, honestly, not sure about that. My husband tried to explain that we both agreed on the name and all the reasons why we made that choice, but she wouldn't listen. She suggested that we name him Henry on paper as his legal name and then call him something else. But I thought that would be confusing for him and told her that he would be named what we chose. She kept begging my husband and saying that I was ruining the family tradition, and at one point I lost it. Bracket, which is partially to blame on hormones, I think. Don't worry, girl. I get it. And I told her that it was our child, so we did what we wanted, and we didn't have to follow a stupid tradition. Choice of words, girl. Yeah. She stormed out, and my husband has since received texts from his father and sister accusing me of making his mother feel really bad and some other stuff that I don't really remember.
She blacked
okay, that
out.
doesn't help you.
She was angry. Oh, wow.
I get the importance of tradition, and it can be really beautiful, but also I feel like that shouldn't be an obligation, and it's okay to change things. We won't change our baby's name because we're really set on that, but maybe we were wrong for not following the tradition. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm mentally exhausted by all this drama. Edit, I've seen many comments mentioning they saw similar stories in the past. I'd like to clarify, those weren't mine. All of those events happened 2 days ago, but it's crazy to see how many families have similar traditions. I really thought this was a super rare thing.
Oh, wow.
So is she rude for standing up for the name that both her and her husband have agreed upon, are standing for, and has at least offered the solution of using Henry, the traditional name, for the middle name?
I mean, listen, again, I don't have kids, but if there's something that someone's not going to do is tell me
I'm making this kid,
the child that I made, that came out of my body. Listen, I get the tradition thing. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've had so many conversations with my husband around how we're going to name our children, the types of names that I'm expecting our child to have, especially since, we have his last name, the kids will have his last name, which is a Caucasian, Canadian name, French Canadian name, and I would like my culture to show.
Yes.
Cultures to show, you know? So I get the tradition thing, but in terms of having someone dictate that to you, and I'm not sure what kind of family this is, if you guys are some crazy rich heiress type, and that's maybe why they're doing it, but I think you're fine with the middle name solution.
I think so too.
Right?
Yeah, I totally even forgot about the middle name. I'm like, oh, thank goodness that at least they're offering that as a solution.
And that was discussed beforehand. And she still came and hand embroidered.
I'm sorry, you did what now?
The name that they didn't choose.
These are so beautiful.
You're
like awkward.
What is happening?
So about that.
So intense. So intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think she's busted either. I think, It's your baby. You get to name the baby, and Henry was going to be the middle name, so I don't think she's bastos. Also, once the baby's there, I feel like everybody's going to forget about it. You know what I mean? You know,
but it's kind of giving like Meghan Markle and the royal family. Like
I totally just thought of that in my head too. Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like I don't know. Like so maybe that's why it's so intense and they're so, you know, they're so fixated
to your point,
on it.
Yeah, like it's for that family. It is a tradition. You know.
Yeah,
that's been passed
certain
on.
Types
so
of names, but I mean, from a regular people level.
Yeah.
For us common folk,
yes,
you're not bastos. I think this is a very normal thing. You know, there's endless stories about in-laws and you know couples kind of clashing with their idea of how to raise a family. And you know, I tend to err on to vote with the side of tradition. That's just me.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think the middle name is fine, and I think you're fine to name your kid what you want to name it.
The baby that you made.
Right? Then when you, and I've heard before where it's like, sometimes you pick a name for a baby and then you see the baby and you like completely change it.
Oh, I never thought of that.
I heard of that. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I never thought of that before hearing it either. Cause like, you're like, oh no, this is Donald.
Yeah.
Like, me, Donald.
I knew you looked like a Donald.
Like, I knew you were, I thought you were going to be Ernest, but you're Donald. Like, you know, or whatever. Like, you just don't know.
That's too funny.
Right? So I think that's a very important part of becoming a parent. Well,
and it's like, it's not a situation where she's like, it's her against her husband.
Right.
Again, her and her
husband
communicated and they talked.
Mutually agreed, yeah.
Exactly.
So like, are you coming for your son the way you're coming for your daughter-in-law?
Yeah.
And choosing another name?
Yeah.
And going with Henry as a middle name?
Yes.
You know? So you're not bastos.
Exactly. Nothing against Henry.
Yeah. It's a middle name.
But it's your baby. You get to name it what they want.
Yeah.
But speaking of couples and making sure that you communicate, you know, there's like this weird thing online with Bruno Mars apparently, like with couples and being able to, making sure that you guys are on the same page. One of these discussions is having Bruno Mars played at your wedding and banning it.
Oh, yes.
Which is super weird. So shout out Future Ancestors TV. They posted the Road podcast and they're saying how like couples are expressing that they don't want like corny, cheesy, or these cliche love songs.
Yeah.
And apparently J-Lo turned Bruno Mars down because she wanted him to sing at, I don't know which one of her weddings.
Oh my.
And Bruno tried to charge $5 million for like a 45-minute set, which I thought was funny. But also celebrities, obviously, you know, it's different. They got different money to play with. But yeah, I thought that was weird because I'm also like, what? Bruno has bare hits. Like, why would we want to ban his music at weddings?
So I asked ChatGPT because I couldn't find like a headline.
What would you do without ChatGPT?
Yeah, right. And I would like to hear AI's perspective since they have that, right? They have opinions and stuff. Yep. And it said, like, what Chat was saying is that there's no actual official ban. It's exactly like what you said. Like, people just don't want these kind of songs at their wedding. They want something more deep and meaningful. Specifically his song Marry You, where the line is like, you know, it's a beautiful night, we're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I want to marry you. Like, not exactly I'm gonna love you forever. You know what I mean? And,
you know what, actually I never took that in. I'm just like, oh, it's catchy.
And that's the thing, like, that's how they get you. It's so catchy.
Bruno, he did it again.
But those lyrics are very shallow.
Yeah,
you know?
No, for sure.
But they said, like, obviously his other hits are more welcome. Like, on the dance floor, 24K is such a good song for an Uptown Funk for, like, wedding
Actually, this just reminded me, Norm once did a joke, and he was saying how, like, with Bruno Mars, what is it, Grenade? I would catch, like, he's like, if you take away the pleasant melody and all of that, it's like the lyrics are crazy. It's like, I would catch a grenade for you. Like, they get super intense. To your point, it's like, this is actually toxic. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh my goodness. But I guess that's it, right? Like, they just really want something more meaningful.
Yes,
and it's like, there's a whole list. Nothing comes to mind right away, but there's a whole list of songs that people say, like, maybe don't play this at your wedding because it's not as romantic as you think. Like, My Heart Will Go On. That was a big one, Celine Dion from the Titanic.
Really?
Because, like, it's a beautiful song, but think about it. Kate Winslet lets him go into the bottom of the ocean, and the song is "My Heart Will Go On," like, without you.
And
keeping our memories in my heart.
It's been proven that he could have fit on the door with you.
Yeah, just
could have been on the door with you. You guys
just to clarify.
Both survived.
Yeah, like near, far, wherever you are, I will know that my heart will go on.
Yes.
Once more you open the door. Like, come on. Like.
But you know who also has amazing romantic ballads? Mariah Carey.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if any of you guys see it out there, but Mariah Carey is coming to Manila in 2025. You guys, Filipinos love Christmas, and we love karaoke. Now you guys are going to send Mariah Carey there?
Listen.
It's going to be a time.
Kai and I kind of went crazy in the group chat when this was announced, planning our outfits, talking about like Santa's going to be there with Rudolph, like amazing. Like this is like the top in my mind, like the top event in my mind. It's like such a big deal. Mariah 100%. Carey, this powerhouse love in the
Mariah.
Philippines.
I need to see her at least once. Oh, truly.
And now it should be in the Philippines.
I mean, of all the places, like let's figure that out.
We belong together.
All the hits. Which also, I just wanted to say, it's funny how, like, you know, online, there's always clips of Mariah Carey being irritated when people don't hit pitches, or she's just unimpressed if you don't sing the song properly or do justice. Yeah. Now you're going to the Philippines. I want to see like interaction of someone like stunning Mariah, or Mariah being like, "Girl, you can sing," or "Get it." You know,
if it's
like,
gonna happen anywhere, it's gonna happen.
They're out in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Singing on the mic.
Literally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good time. I can't wait to see the content from all of that. If not, go ourselves.
What a beautiful note to end on.
Yes. Mariah Carey in Manila. I love it.
Amazing.
Well, with that said, hope you guys have a good week. And you guys know where to catch us. Don't forget, ikaw ang bida sa kwento ng buhay mo. Never forget it. Have a great week. Catch you next week.
Ingat.
Ingat.